In this video, we're going to talk about how do I draw a box plot by hand and using Excel. So box plot is also used to describe a numerical variable, that can give us a lot of information about the distribution. So in the previous video, we learned how do we find 5-number summaries from any given data set. So we're going to work on the same data set, and we have found the 5-number summary as 1.1, 1.6, 3.0, 4.6, 8.9 for the given data. So you need to realize the 5-number summary will refer to minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and maximum, right? So the box plot is actually strictly coming from the 5-number summary. So once you have 5-number summary for the data set, you can draw a box plot very quickly. So for example here, we're going to draw a box plot. We're going to actually draw a vertical box plot. Okay. So when you draw a vertical box plot, the y-axis will be the variable you're trying to describe. So for example, if this variable is measuring some weight of some potatoes, then this will be weight of potatoes. X-axis will be different groups. So in here, we only have one group data, so the x-axis doesn't really matter much. And later on in Excel, we can talk about, when you have two groups, you want to compare the two groups of data, you can draw a side-to-side box plot, and you can compare the center, you can compare the spread of the data. Okay. So x-axis is a categorical variable, represent different groups. Y-axis is a numerical axis, so we have to mark it up, carefully. So we're going to mark a numerical axis here, weight, 0, 2, 4, make sure equal spacing, 6, 8, and 10. In order to make a box plot, you just need to mark the 5 numbers from the 5-number summary on the chart. So the first number will be 1.1. So just roughly estimate 1.1 will be around here. And the next number is 1.6. So 1.6 is still below 2. So somewhere over here. Okay. Then 3.0 right in the middle of 2 and 4. Okay. And then 4.6. Between 4.6 and the middle will be 5. So a little over a quarter of 4. And then 8.9 is kind of close to 9, right in the middle of 8 and 10. Okay, so that's the 5 marks. You need to realize this is minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and the maximum from bottom to top. To draw a box plot, we need to draw a box to enclose Q1 and Q3. So this is where Q1 is. We're going to draw a box that goes through Q1 and Q3. Okay. And then where median is, we're going to draw a line across the box. So this is a median. We're going to draw a line across the box. Okay. And then from bottom of the box, we're going to draw down until you reach the minimum. That's the whisker. And then from top of the box, we're going to draw a line all the way to the top. And there's the other whisker. So that completes your box plot by hand. So box plot can give us quite, the same information as the 5-number summary, but this is the visual, effect. So we have 25% of individuals have weights between 1.1 and 1.6. Another 25% individuals between 1.6 and 3.0. And another 25% between 3.0 and 4.6. Another 25% is between 4.6 and 8.9. Okay. So between Q1 and Q3, this distance is actually the IQR, the interquartile range. So the interquartile range is a measure of the spread. So the larger the IQR, the larger the spread your data is. Okay. So now let's look at how do we use Excel to make a box plot. So for example, you're going to look at the same leaf data as what we did in the pie chart and bar chart in. So we have students collected different leaf and they measured their lengths. So the length will be a numerical variable. We're going to try to draw a box plot to describe the lengths. So in this case, we have, female students, we have male students. So we put them separate. We have male students, we have 100 leaves being collected from males and 170 leaves collected from females. Okay. So first, check if your Excel version is the same as what I use. I use, click File and Account. I'm using the Microsoft Office 2016. I think if you're using previous versions, you don't have the option to draw box plot this way. Okay, so we want to draw a box plot on the female leaf lengths first. So we choose data range. Okay, you can simply just click the whole column, and the Excel will just automatically discard all the empty cell values. Okay, so then in order to make a box plot, we're gonna click Insert, and then Recommended Chart. Then choose All Chart, and then you browse through, go down. There's a box and whisker plot. So click on that and click OK. So this gives us the box plot. Okay. So we can do a little modification. We can add a title to the box plot. We can call this a box plot for leaf lengths female only. Okay, so it's appropriate title. And also you can also choose to display data values. Just click on the plus sign and choose data values, and that give you the data values of all the mark in the box plot. So for your interest, we can try to see if the 5-number summary match with the box plot here. So recall we have showed in previous video how to find 5-number summary using Excel. So we click on any cell and type equal to, then we're going to use a quartile function. So you type quartile, the quartile function will pop up. We're going to choose it, and the array will be all the female data we use right here, right? So we're going to highlight the range of all the female students collect the leaf. Okay. And then the second argument will be, which quartile you're trying to find. So you have 5 different values will represent minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and the maximum. So we're going to find minimum first. Okay. Enter. That will give you the minimum. So we can copy the function to different locations to give us different, 5-number summaries. But you need to make sure, for every time you copy it over, you want to make the array the same array, right? We go to the same data. So you just use a $sign in front of the column number and the row number. That way, when you copy the function to different locations, the range or the array will not be changed. Okay. So for example, now we can click on this cell. We press Control C. We're going to copy the function. You go to a different cell, type Control V, that will paste it. Okay. So you can see the range stay the same from A2 to A171. But here we're going to change the arguments into 1. So that will give us Q1. So this is minimum, this is Q1, this is median, this is Q3, and here we get max, right? So here we're going to copy the function over again. So we're going to change the argument quart into 2, that give us median. And then we're going to copy it over here. So we're going to change this into 3. That way we're going to get a third quartile. And if you copy the function to So here we're going to change into 4 and give us maximum. Okay. So you can see minimum is here. Q1 50, median 72, Q3 is 104.75 being calculated. Here is 105 as labeled, and the maximum is 260. So the box plot here is a little different from what we draw by hand. So one thing is, inside the box you have a point, a mark, a point. That's actually the mean of the whole data set. So basically calculate the mean of the data. So for example, if you calculate the mean, if you use average function, remember this is in the previous video. So you highlight the whole range of data and then type end the parenthesis. So that will give you the mean, right? So this is the mean of the data, 79.89. So that's the value right there. Okay, that's one difference. And the other difference is, in the box plot created by the Excel, it also give you points that's outside of the whiskers. So these points are actually considered as outliers. Okay, so instead of using maximum or minimum as the end of the whiskers, they use the threshold. The threshold will be the outlier threshold. Any value that's beyond the threshold will be considered as outliers. So you could have outliers on the high number side, or you could have outliers on the low number side. Okay, so this is box plot. And sometimes you have different groups of data. So you want to compare the two different groups of data, in terms of their median, in terms of their center and the spread. So then we can create a side-to-side box plot. So for example here, if we want to compare if female students collected the leaf, are they different from the leaves collected by the male students? So what we can do is we can draw a side-to-side box plot. So first we're going to highlight the data range. We're going to choose both columns. So it has all the data in there highlighted, and then we go to insert and recommended chart, and then all chart, same thing. We're going to go to the box plot. Okay, so now you have this is a preview of it. You click OK. So that will be the box plot for different groups. So here, if you want to add a legend, it will tell you, the blue box plot is for female students, and the male box plot is for, the orange box plot is for male students. You have 4 outliers here. You have 1 outlier here, right? If you compare the center, the median of male is a little higher than the median of the female. So if you add the data labels, you can look at the numbers. And the spread of the female is actually larger than the spread of the males. When you look at the interquartile range, this is from 50 to 105. This is 55 to 103.75. Okay. So this is how we use Excel to create a box plot. And here, of course, you can change your chart title. This will be box plot for leaves, leaf lengths by males and females. So you have a comparison between different groups. Okay. Thank you.